So this Jnana Yoga, it starts with one one disclosure of Lord Krishna, a surprising disclosure of Lord Krishna, which really took Arjuna, in the back foot. He couldn't imagine that he is going to listen this from Lord Krishna, and he said that today I'm going to talk about a yoga which has been lost, which has extincted. And this yoga, I had said this to the sun god, and the sun god, he said this to his son Manu, and Manu to Ikshaku. And in this way, it was coming to in the world as a tradition. And because this yoga has been lost, so I'm going to revive this yoga again through you. So apparently, it's like Lord Krishna is trying to tell him one yoga. But if you see, the deeper meaning of this is that I want to tell you that I am something different from what you think. Because you might think that I am your friend, you might think that I am your guru, you might think that I am a human being, like you, who have been born and who has died, who has death. But it's not like that. I've been coming in this world, I've been in this world for a long, long time. And, so much so that I am even older than sun, or if you can say maybe the son of the sun, or the son of the son of the sun. In this way, I'm older and older than anything that you can even imagine. So when this is said, he wanted Arjun to get bewildered. He wanted Arjun to get very surprised, and Arjun said that how it is possible? How can you say this to sun god? And then he revealed himself, and that we had discussed in the in our earlier session, that Lord said that I am the birthless, and I am the infinite, and I am the Lord of this whole entire universe. So to make things better, or to correct things, or to redeem, or to do anything, like any repair work, I don't need to take birth. I can do it, being in my own nature, where I am. But I control my nature, and with my Maya, with the help of my Maya, I appear before you all. It's just because I love you. It's just because I want you to see, I want you to know that I am the one who is behind everything that you see in this world. This world is not an abstract thing that, it just happened. It's not like that. I'm there. I'm there in the background, in the substratum. I'm there. And everything which is happening here is all, happening because of me. I am the one who is the cause of everything. And I want to make you understand this. I want to make you realize this. I want to make you know this. And that is why I have come again, and I come again and again. Now, why do I come here? I come here because, sometimes, like, we have this day and night. In the day there is light. In the night there is no light. So when there is no light, we search light. We long for light. So sometimes, the night becomes very, very long. Sometimes it seems as if there will never be light. So in those kind of nights, we make arrangements of special lights, so that there is some kind of light everywhere. In this way, he says that when there is darkness everywhere, when there is darkness, when there is this advent of sins, when there is advent of adharma, when adharma has spread, everywhere, and it has thrived, and when adharma has thrived, then dharma suffers, and when dharma suffers, then I appear. I don't take birth. I appear to restore the pious, to restore truth, to help establish truth and the pious again, and to destroy the sin, and to destroy the inauspicious. And in this way, I come again and again in this world. So, we had discussed up to this point. So from here, we are going to start our discussion. Now he says, you know, this knowledge of incarnation, this knowledge of incarnation is also knowledge. You know, when we talk about knowledge, then what happens? That when we attain knowledge of the self, then we become free from everything. Then we become free from birth and death. Then we become free from the cycle of karma. Then we become free from all the distractions, all the distortions, all this, you know, mental, obstacles. So Krishna says that if you see me, if you know me, if you know my real nature, if you know my real nature, and if you happen to understand and know and realize the kind of work I do and why I do this work and how I do this work, if you can realize the nature of my work and the nature of my being, coming into being, if you can understand this, if you can realize this, then you are not going to be born again. You will be free from this cycle of birth and death. And by being free from this birth and death, you are going to be, dissolved in my nature. So here also is a kind of salvation, enlightenment, and a kind of, liberation. So liberation can also happen in this way. Not only, liberation not only happens when a person, realizes Brahman or the self or consciousness. Liberation also happens if a person understands, knows, realizes, feels the incarnation of that era. And that is why he says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvata tektva deham punar janma naiti mameti sorjuna. He says that a person who understands, a person who realizes, the nature of my taking birth, of my appearing in this world, how I take birth. I don't take birth. I just appear by controlling my nature, and with the help of Maya, I just appear in this world. A person who knows this, and a person who knows why I have taken birth and what kind of actions that I do, and why do I do these actions. A person who knows everything about that, about my actions, about the nature of my actions. When he leaves this body, he does not come again. He does not have to come again into this body. He does not have to be born again. He goes and gets dissolved into my own nature. So this is what he says. And then he says, who are this person? Who are this person who actually understands, knows the nature of his birth and death? Is it everybody? I'm seeing somebody, I'm seeing an incarnation in front of my eyes, and I just I just recognize him, and then I can understand whatever. Is it like this, or there is some kind of qualifications, some kind of specifications, that a man should have these kind of qualities, after which he can understand the incarnation. So he talks about those qualities. What does he say? Beeta raga bhaya krodha. Did I discuss all this before or not? Can you tell me? No. Okay.
There's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that are very similar from what I've heard before.
Okay.
A couple of things from being the reincarnation that you mentioned, that you're saying about. Is that from being reborn again?
Honey, save that to the end. He just did a recap.
Oh, okay.
And now we're starting the next one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you get a chance to let it go in again.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you.
No worries.
So, he said that who are the person who actually understands, who will understand me? Who are the person? He says, Bhita raga bhaya krodha man maya mam upashrita. Bhavo jnana tapasa puta madbhava ma gataha. He says, this person who will understand me, who will realize me, they indeed need to have some kind of qualifications. What are the qualifications? They should be, they should be dispassionate to this world. Now, what does it mean by being dispassionate to this world? Nowadays we see that people are, dispassionate about this world. They don't like this world at all. They're all depressed. So are this person who are depressed, they are the person who is going to, who is going to realize God? It's not like that. Dispassionate in true nature means when you are passionate about God, when you are passionate about the self, when you are passionate about the divine. So you are passionate about the divine in such a degree that, there is no passion left for this world. And that is why, you are dispassionate about this world. So dispassionate does not mean that you are simply dispassionate about this world. You are not at all interested in anything of this world. Dispassionate in real terms means you are very much passionate. You are very much interested. You are very much devoted to God, to the divine, to the truth, to consciousness. So the first quality that we need for a person to understand who the incarnate is that he should be a lover of God. He should be a lover of truth. He should be a lover of the divine, of consciousness, of this oneness. So Bhita raga bhaya. He should not be scared at all. He should not have any fears. How do fears come? Fears come because of ignorance. Ignorance of any new thing which is exposed to us. Whenever any new object, whenever a new person, when a new place is exposed to us, the first reaction the mind makes is fear. And most of us, after this first reaction of fear, we just retreat. We don't even want to see, to get over this fear. We don't want to get over this fear. We are completely taken over by this fear, and we just retreat. We cannot approach one step ahead. But there are people who are scared, who experience fear, but they want to go beyond fears. They want to see what is in the other side of the fear. These people are fearless. These people, when they want to see in the other side of fear, they see that there is nothing to be feared. There's nothing to be feared. Everything is fine. Everything is normal. Everything is a reality. So a person who is that kind of fearless, a person who is courageous to an extent that he is not at all bowed down by fear, these are the person who will know me. So devotion in true sense is not God fearing. Devotion in true sense is a fearless love for God. We say we are a God fearing person. God fearing person also is not a true devotee. A true devotee does not fear anybody because he does not have any weakness. He does not have any weakness. He does not have any preoccupation. He does not have any prejudice. And because of this, he is free from all that. He is a God-loving, fearless person. And that is what is the definition of a true devotee. So, one who is fearless. Bhita raga bhaya krodha. Krodha means anger. Anger. We are all becoming angry. Why? Why do we become angry? We have seen in the second chapter that when our desires are not fulfilled, then we become angry. That gives rise to anger. So anger is not, not an independent emotion. Anger is a relative emotion which, takes birth from the non-completion of our desires. So the reason of anger is desires. And desires are never fulfilled. And because desires are never fulfilled, angers also cannot be subdued. You will always have anger. So a person who does not have anger. What does it mean? A person who does not have anger, a person who does not have any desires. How can a person remain, how can a person not have any desires? It is impossible. You will always have desires. So it is not possible for you to get rid of them. There is one way by which you can get rid of your desires. How? By being separate from them. You cannot stop your desires. You cannot stop your desires. That, hey, desires, I don't want you. Just stop. Just stop. It cannot happen like that. You need to be separate from your desires. When you remain separate from your desires, then you see that though the desires are there, they do not affect you at all. And you can stay in your own nature, real nature, in a very original way, in a very genuine way, just by being separated from the desires. So the only way to counter, to contain anger is to remain separated from desires. So here it says, a person who does not have any anger, by saying this, Krishna is saying that a person who does not, give up to his desire, who does not give in into his desires, who does not, who does not let his desire take over his existence, who can separate himself from the desires, and that is why, he is not at all influenced by the desires, and because he is not influenced by the desires, there is no, there is no tendency of fulfilling desires. And because there is no tendency of fulfilling desires, that is why, even if the desires are not fulfilled, he does not come into the effect of anger. So he's free from anger. So a person who does not have any desires is the person who does not have any anger. So Krishna says that Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, a person who is a lover of God, a person who is fearless, and a person who does not have any anger. And in this way, he says, it is only possible when you will not have any desire. So how can I stay without having desire? He says, desire for God. Have one desire. Have one desire. Make your desires, make your desires converge into one desire of the desire for God. So when you have this, intense, one-pointed devotion, one-pointed, desire for God, you see that all your desires, they are all, dissolved into this desire, this one desire. And desire for God, by the desire for God, you attain God. And because you attain God, with the desire of God, that is why, this desire for God is not considered to be a desire. It is also considered to be a means to attain the self, a means to attain, peace. It's not a desire at all. So, the only way by which you can contain your anger is to be more and more devoted, more and more, is to want the divine more and more. Having a one-pointed devotion, having a one-pointed agenda only for the divine. And that is how you can free yourself from anger. Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha Man Maya Mam Upashrita. Man Maya, a person who's, who has created this, who was established me, who has placed me in his mind in such a way that there is nothing else in his mind. It's only me. It's only the divine. Man Maya, a person, in whose mind only God resides. That is a person, that is a person to whom, God is seen in flesh and blood. So you need to, place God in your mind, in your heart, in such a way that it is only God who stays in your heart. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha Man Maya Mam Upashrita. Mamupashrita, one who is completely dependent on me. We are dependent on this world. We are dependent on our body. We are dependent on the material, material resources that we have, money, power, body, mind, intellect, our contacts, our house, our bank balance, all this. We are dependent on this. Lord Krishna says, depend on me alone, because I am the only one to be dependent, to be fit for dependency. You can have money, you can have anything, but when you are dying, nothing is going to help you. When you are in crisis, nothing is going to help you. It's only me. Why? Because I stay within you. I stay inside of you. Because I stay inside of you, I can protect you anywhere. Anywhere. You are in the midst of a corona patient, and you're all, all scared. What is going to happen? And you can have medical insurance, you can have this, you can have that, you can have money, you can have, a house, big house, you can have your whole family with you, but nobody is coming to your rescue. Nobody can come to your rescue. You are alone. But if you have God within you, you will be protected always. You can be in any situation. You can be in any situation, but because you are dependent on Him, He will protect you all the time. You will see that you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. So, we need to learn to be dependent on God. We say that we should be dependent on God, but we don't depend on Him. We, consciously or unconsciously, we are always dependent on our own resources, which is very bad. These resources are all matter. They cannot help you. The only person who can help you, the only person who can save you, who can give you peace, who can give you, happiness, who can free you from all bondages. It's God. It's God, and that God who resides within your mind. It's not the God who is in the heaven. In every people, in every person, God resides within your heart. God is, God is the energy, God is the power, God is the knowledge, the supreme energy, the supreme power, the supreme knowledge, the supreme love, the supreme peace, the supreme bliss, which is within you. You don't realize. You don't realize because you are not aware about that. We are aware about everything, everything which is around us, and that which is around us are all experienced by our senses, by our mind, by our intellect. But God cannot be experienced by our intellect. God cannot be experienced by our mind. God cannot be experienced by our senses. The only way by which God can be experienced is heart, wisdom, love. Love. When you open your heart, when you spread your love for Him, then you find Him. Then you find Him. And that is why He is not known. Why? Because we know everything through our mind. We know everything through our intellect. We know everything through our intellect. But He cannot be known by mind, by intellect, or by senses, or by any other worldly means. The only way is when you love Him, when you feel one with Him, when you feel or when you consider Him to be your own self, to be your own soul, to be a soulmate, to be your own soul. He's your own. He's your own. He's your own. He is much more own than anybody else in this entire universe. Your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, your children, your friends, your parents, they are not so close as God is. Once you can feel that, once you can, you can value that connection with God, that is how you see him. And that is why, he says, depend on me. I will never let you down. I will never let you down. If you really want to know whether I reside within your body, whether I reside within your heart or not, the only way is to depend on me. Don't look for any other support. Don't look for any other support. Just reject all the support, abandon all your supports from this world, and just depend on him and tell him, speak to him as if you're speaking to your parents, you're speaking to your father, you're speaking to your mother, you're speaking to your beloved, you're speaking to your friend, you're speaking to your child. In that way, just speak to him, depend on him. You will find him. You will find him, and then you will see life is so beautiful. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashrita. Depend on him. Bahavo jnana tapasa. Person who is completely like, who is very, very like, passionate about me. A person who is passionate about me, to find me, he goes through all the paths. He goes through the path of knowledge, he goes through the path of devotion, he goes through the path of karma, he goes through the path of any path which people tell him that this path leads to thee, this path leads to him. So whenever whenever he learns that this is a path which leads to God, he just follows that path. But his goal is not to walk on the path. His goal is to find God. So he's like, in a divine madness. He's in divine madness in the search of God. So when he does this, then what happens? He becomes pure. His heart becomes pure. His heart becomes pure. Lord Krishna says, when a person, becomes so mad, so divinely mad, so divinely restless for me, then his heart is completely, his heart is completely cleaned, purified, and that is when he attains me. So these are the qualifications which you need to realize, to see God, to feel God, and to be one with him. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashrita bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhava magataha. Now when he says this, Arjuna was completely like taken aback by all the things that he was saying. Arjuna never imagined that he is going to listen from Krishna that he is God. And Krishna did that. I am God. I am the God incarnate. So when Krishna was telling about these qualities, about a human being, when a person possesses these qualities, then only he can attain God. So Arjuna had a doubt in his mind. What was the doubt? He said, okay, you consider yourself to be God. You say that you are the God of this world. If you are the God of this world, why do you keep these kind of specifications? Why are only some people who can reach you? Why are only the devotees? Why are only those who love you who can reach you, and those who does not love you, those who does not care for you, those who does not, those who does not consider you to be God, they cannot reach you? Why is this, why is this prejudice? Arjuna had in his mind, this confusion, this doubt, that okay, if you're God, you should be God for everybody. When the sun shines, it doesn't shine only for that or for the flowers, whose face is towards the sun. It shines in everything. It shines everywhere. So God has to shine everywhere. And knowing this confusion in Arjuna's mind, Krishna says, ye yatha mam prapaddante tangs tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartanuvartante manushya partha sarvasha. He said, Arjun, you see, when I tell you that I am God, when I tell you I am God, you should understand that I am the only reality. I am the only reality. I am the only substance. There's no other substance. So, so many people of this world, they have, they have diverse aspirations. They have diverse aspirations. Some wants me, some does not want me. They want money, they want power, they want material happiness. Somebody wants something, somebody wants something. So because I am the only substance, whoever wants me in whatever way, I deliver that to him. Don't think that, a person who does not consider me as God and who is running after money, he is running away from me. Don't think that because he's running after money, that money also is me. He's running after power. He's running after power. He's running after his desires. So anything after which he's running, those are all me. So I am the one who delivers everything to people. Whoever runs after whatever, I'm the one who delivers those to him. Ye yatha mam prapaddante tangs tathaiva bhajamya. Anybody who wants me in any form, I appear before him in that form. It is not only spiritual, it is not only about the form, it is not only about the form of gods. Like one wants to see Shiva, one wants to see God as Mother Kali, so he appears as Mother Kali or Shiva. It's not like that. It's for everybody. There are many people who doesn't even want to see the image of Shiva or Kali or anybody. For him, this world is true. For him, this happiness of this world is true. He just goes and makes, he just goes and cares for merrymaking. That's all. That merry also is God. So when that person only wants merry of this world, God delivers that merry to him, because through that merry, God is delivering himself to him. So Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapaddante tangs tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartanuvartante manushya partha sarvasha. He says, oh Arjuna, just know one thing very, 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 very firmly, that this world follows only me. I am the one. I am the only one. So whoever is running wherever, they're all following me. They're all running after me. They think that they're running after in different forms, and they think that they are running after different things. But all those things are all me. So, ye yatha mam prapaddante tangs tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartanuvartante manushya partha sarvasha. Then Arjuna has this doubt. Okay. So suppose you are God, and there are people who does not love you. They love other gods. Like, there are many other gods in India, like Devata, Agni, Varun, Indra. They have powers. So there are many worshippers who don't want, who don't want to realize God, but they are the worshippers of sun, of moon, of stars, of Indra, of Varun, of this, of that. So Arjuna says, why this? If you are the only one, only one, why do people, run after other gods? Why do people run after other gods? Then Krishna says, Kangshanta karmanam siddhi yajanta iha devata shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Krishna says, the people runs after other gods. Do you know why? They run after other gods only because, when they run after other gods, thinking that those gods are not me, they have, sooner results. The results are very fast. When they run after me, I purify them completely. And that is why the result that they have is, prolonged. It has to, come after some time. It is not a fast result. But when a person, worships any other god or any other demigod, so there is no need to purify. There is no need to, rectify, redemption. So whatever they do, they get the results. So their results are all very fast, and that is why they, they follow them, they worship them. Okay. So when Krishna said this, that they follow them, then Arjuna had another doubt in his mind. Okay. So there is this, Vedas. There is this Vedas which talks about the greatness of realization of God, the greatness of realization of truth, and the Vedas also talks about what is the truth, where is the truth, where will you find it, by whom you are going to, find it, by who is going to help you. So these are all written in the Vedas. But these Vedas is not it's not accessible to everybody. In India, we have caste system. So we have caste system. So what happens is these knowledges, these greater knowledges, higher knowledges, they are only, accessible to very few people. They know. These people who have access to Vedas, these people who have access to Upanishads, access to higher knowledge, they know that they should follow you. They should look for you. They should look for consciousness. The others who don't have access to knowledge, who don't have access to higher knowledge, they don't know at all that, it is you who has to be followed. It is you who has to be seeked, to be sought after. And that is why whatever they see in front of them, whatever people tell them, they think that is truth. So it's only because there is the system, in this society, that there is division. There's a division, and this division has been created by you. You have created this division. You have created Brahmanas, you have created Kshatriyas, you have created Vaishyas and Shudras, and you have kept these Shudras and Vaishyas and all these castes away from this greater knowledge. This greater knowledge, this higher knowledge, is only accessible to very few people. So it's you who have done this. So, these were the confusions in the mind of Arjuna. And because these were the confusions in the mind of Arjuna, Krishna said that Chatur Varna Maya Srishta Guna Karma Vibhagasha Tasya Kartaramapi Mam Vidma Akartam Avvayam. What we say, what we think, that the society of India is divided. The society of India is divided into 4 castes, and there is prejudice over people. This is what we think, but we don't know the actual, formation of this society. Like in a house, this division that we think, that, there are division. One person has access over knowledge. He becomes a Brahmin. The other becomes a Kshatriya, wants to fight. The other becomes, the other is Vaishya, who is only interested in doing business. And the fourth one is Shudra, who are the ones who has to serve people. So these are the divisions of this society. And we think that there are people who have done these divisions according to their benefit. But it's not like that. Just let us take an example of a house. In that house, there are parents and there are children. So the children are given the same kind of attention. Suppose there are 4 children in a house. These 4 children have been given the same kind of attention, the same kind of schoolings, education, environment to grow up, all kinds of, amenities. Slowly they grow up. The first one, the eldest one, he becomes a doctor. The other one, the next one, he becomes an engineer. The third one, he becomes he goes to the army. And the fourth one probably becomes a thief, a robber. So how is it possible that four boys, 4 children of the same family, having the same environment, they choose 4 different professions? How is it possible? It is only possible when we consider something called sanskaras, past impressions, which is already with us, which we carry from our past lives. Those past impressions, they create tendencies, pravrittis. They create tendencies, and because of these tendencies, that our destiny is created. It's not about society. So everyone having the same amenity, having the same environment, grows up, and after that they chooses 4 different professions. That means they have developed diverse intentions. Diverse intentions. How did it happen? It happened only because they had these diverse intentions within themselves. And that is how the society is divided. So Krishna said, Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Apparently you can say that I am the one who have divided these 4, these 4 castes, 4 Varnas, 4 castes, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Apparently, you can say, yes, I have done it. But I have not done it. Why? Because this division was already there. This division was already there, according to their guna, to their qualities, and to their actions, to their intentions, to their aspirations. So their aspirations and their qualities are all different. So according to their aspirations and qualities, they have chosen different professions. Even if they have not chosen different professions, they have somehow gone and got fixed in those professions naturally. Apparently, you can say that I am the one who has divided this society. But I have not divided this society. The society already was divided according to qualities and intention and tendencies. Tasya kartaramapi mam. You can say that I am the one who is the doer of this distinction. You can consider me to be the doer of this distinction. Vidma akartam avvayam. But know that I am not the doer. I'm not the doer. I'm the infinite. I'm always beyond all this. I've never divided any caste. This caste has already been divided. Okay, so today we are going to stop here. Next Monday we're going to meet again. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Any questions, y'all? There's a lot of content.
There was a lot of content.
I can hear properly. I don't know why.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now a little bit better. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were saying about Krishna as being the only one, because they're not thinking of him and they're running after him. So are they running after him because he's the god, or I got confused there?
Actually, most of us, that is what Arjuna had had said, most of us do not have this understanding that what we seek in this life can be attained only by attainment of the divine. You know, if I did not come into this spiritual world, suppose I did not come into the spiritual world at the age of 17, what I knew was this, that a good profession gives you peace. A good profession makes your parents happy, makes your family happy. Now, when I see people who are in the good professions, my friends, I see they are very disturbed. They are very disturbed. They are very distracted. They're very, like disturbed. All most of them. So, whatever I was taught, that earning money, earning social status, getting a good wife, having children, having a big house, having car, having bank balance, these are going to give you peace. Ultimately, when I see at this stage, I see they never give you peace. They never give you fulfillment. But this knowledge was available to me. Okay. Now, accidentally, I came to this path of spirituality. I came in contact with Bhagavan accidentally, without my intention. And then I realized that, I didn't realize actually, Bhagavan made me realize, he convinced me, see, this is not the path. This is not the path. If you really want a good path, good life, this is a good life. Go and attain God. Now, I had at that point when he was saying this, I had 400 or 500 friends. When I heard this, that only by realizing God, your life can be fulfilled. When I heard this, I told to each and every friends of mine. But nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. Why? Because they had this education very firmly imbibed within their mind that, material gain, material, attainment, material, achievement is the only way to attain peace, attain happiness, joy, fulfillment in life, So that means the real knowledge, though accessible, remains beyond the reach of people because of their intentions, because of their past impressions, because of their preoccupations, because of their prejudice. Okay, it is not that somebody has kept it secret, because every scriptures, wholeheartedly, with full, clearly, every scripture talks about, the futility of this world and the futility of the enjoyments of this world. But how many people can actually, comprehend this? Very few, very, very few, So Krishna says, it's not that I have created this distinction. It's not that, I choose people that I am going to give, I'm going to give this to him, that to him. It's not like that. They don't want me at all, because this information has already, already inscribed within their mind, within their brains, that this is not the path. The path is to just, go and attain material benefits. Okay, so that is the thing.